Hi, Assalamualaikum madam. My name IRFAN FATHULLAH bin Abu SAMAH, matric number DIT 1811017. Uh, in this presentation, I'm taking part of the stress factor in your life. So the first point is about anxiety, fear, muscle tension. So anxiety is about someone are very worried about one thing. For example, someone is too worried about the examination result. Uh, he are too worried about the grade, the mark, and the examination was passed on will pass or not. So it will be a two fear. When a fear, it will be worry, and that's why what we call anxiety. So about muscle tension, it happen because from your psychology. For example, you are always to think about the negative. So the effect of psychology, it will affect to the muscle tension. It's like your certain muscle in your body part. For example, your body is too tired. And the second point is environment, body or mind. Environment, for example, like in office, you are the new employee. So your boss give you a lot of work, but the deadline is too short. So you need to settle the lot. You need to settle a lot of work in a short duration. So that's why you will stress because you need to catch up your work. You need to settle your work. And body is like your body is too tired to settle a lot of work. Your body is very tired, so you need to give some relaxing and back to your work. And mind is like you are always thinking negative. So your so the effect is to your mind and your body, because you not feeling happiness. You always like sad, disappointed. So yeah, mind is very important. So point number three, negative thinking. Negative thinking is like you always think you are weak, you cannot achieve your goals. You are too. It's like you are too humble. So it is very bad for your life because you are always in a negative thinking. You not believe in your life. And the last point is overthinking. Overthinking is like it's like one problem. It's like actually it's like a small problem, but you always overthinking, and the problem will be because of you are always overthinking. When you start to overthinking, it's like you are negative to your problem. But overthinking will kill your happiness. You will when you start to overthinking, you will sad, disappointed, and your confidence level in your life will gone. So overthinking is very dangerous to your life. You always need to control your mind. So that's all from me for the stress factors in your life.
So for this one, this is responding to stress. The first one is the stressor, your perception of it, and your response to it. So for this one, there are two part for it. The first one is external stressor. External stressor come from outside your body. For example, a situation where a person feel lonely or have to face many faces to have a thought, that one person will feel not comfortable or something like that. Okay, the second part is internal stressor, which it can be happen when you have a fever, you will feel down, something like that. Okay. Okay, the second one is attempt to respond in many ways that help you establish mental, physical, and emotional balance. So, for this one, you have to make sure three of them, mental, physical, and emotional, you can balance it successfully. For example, if you feel stressed or you, your mind try to take control of you, make sure that have some fun with your friend, like go play soccer with your friends, something like that, or you can have a little talk with your family. Okay, the third one is when people are under stress, surges in the stress hormones, underlying and cortisol strongly affect you listening. Okay, so this what happen if you feel stress, this process that can happen inside our body, and this effect can keep you feel stressed until you find some relax, until you can relax or find something that you can uh, you you can have some fun with, and you ignore the stress.
My name is MOHAMMAD ZALHASMI by Muhammad Isa. This is Ammar, the IT 18104. So moving on to major causes of stress. So first thing first is the work-life balance. You should know that the balance between work and personal life is essential because otherwise the working pressure and resulting stress could affect and disrupt someone's personal life. Moving on to long hour and irregular schedule. So working long hour could result to tiredness, fatigue, and lack of attentiveness. So working long hour and irregular schedule also associated with a range of negative health and well-being outcomes. So the third one being changes. Changes like getting married or the loss of someone near to you also can result to stress. More so over a negative events such as losing someone very important to you, such as your parents or something, could result in heavy stress. So moving on to the fourth point, which is multitasking. So our brain is designed to concentrate on one task at a time. Now, due to the added pressure of switching from one task to another, the brain takes more time to do the task. This causes stress, and the same task now take more time than what you would normally take to complete it. So moving on to the fifth point, which is noise pollution. Noise pollution can trigger the body's stress response. One of its major health effects is chronic stress and high level of stress hormones that go with it. As a result, noise pollution has been linked with health problems such as heart disease, high blood pressure, and stroke. So the next one is incompetent leader. So stress may arise when incompetent leader fail to recognize employee ideas and concerns, withhold information from employees, fail to clarify roles and responsibilities, and set unreasonable deadlines and then blame employee for not meeting them. These kind of leader are most commonly known as toxic leader. So the next point is work and family transition. So these transition are unavoidable, forcing one to give up something and face a change. For example, when someone has to transfer from one station to another, which they might have to separate from their families and friends. So moving on to the next one, which is rumination. Rumination is one when someone replayed the most embarrassing moment or even their life over and over again in their mind. This kind of thing could result in the loss of concentration, anxiety, or worse, depression. So moving on to the next one, which is facing discrimination or harassment at work. So when one faces discrimination or harassment at work, they might feel out of place, not wanted, or just maybe hated in that place. So they might get stressed from it. So moving on to the last one, which is being unhappy in your job. So this is one of the most talked about thing in pursuing a career. So that's why people talk about to pursue something that you love. So so that you don't get stressed from it. So that's it from me. Thank you.
Now, for my part, I'm representing warning signal of too much stress. So first, we have physical warning signal. That is, we have sleep disturbance. The second is tension or migraine headache, hair loss, sweaty palms or hand, and lastly, the skin problem. Okay, so the for emotional part, we have nervous or anxiety. The second is depression or moodiness, with irritability or frustration, a lack of concentration, and lastly is a substance abuse and memory problem. So for the relation part, we have increased argument, isolation for social activity, conflict with coworker, overreaction, and last but not least, we have road rage. Okay, that's all for the warning signal. Okay, for the next part is for my second part of my presentation is the stress management strategy. So the first strategy is sleep. So getting enough quality sleep is one of the most effective stress management strategy, because getting enough quality sleep trains our body to improve our sleep recovery period. And lastly, we need to develop a sleep ritual such as mentally wind down before going to bed, avoid central system stimulate like chocolate or caffeine before going to bed, and always keep our bedroom cool, well ventilated and dark. So the second strategy is exercise. So exercise is number one treatment for stress and tension for most people. Moderate activity can stimulate endorphin release. This can help our daily stress this can help to manage our daily stress and improve motivation with gentle exercise. And the third strategy is deep breathing exercise. So we need to force to focus on the present moment rather than stressful thing that we thought. Also take 40 until 90 breath per minute while rest, and also give it chance to lower the breath rate to under 10. Uh, and always practice complete cycle breathing and abdominal breathing. For the fourth atau strategy is meditation. So we can use relaxation technique to slow our respiration and breathway activity, and we can also use it to lower our blood pressure. Practicing meditation regularly can permanently rewire the brain to raise the level of happiness, lower stress, and also can improve our immune system function. So for the fifth topic or strategy is solitude. So those who are constantly in touch with others can benefit from the therapeutic effect of the solitude. So solitude also can be viewed as emotional breather, a restorer of energy, and also a form of rest similar to sleep. Solitude is often required from the unconsciousness to process the thought and event. So last but not least, the sixth strategy is resilience. So be able to bounce back when confronted with stressful situation is helpful for our way to release stress. So resilience is not just a personal characteristic, it also can be applied to team as well. It also can motivate people to push the boundary and strive to achieve more without fear of making mistakes when they have more confidence in themselves and another. Teens that are immersed in culture of unity, accountability and collaboration are more likely to believe that they can weather any storm. Okay, this is the last part of my presentation. Thank you for listening. That's all for me.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Ammar bin AZLAN, and I will present about using positive psychology to combat stress in chapter 14. The first point is happiness, not just a mood, a way of living and working. So happy not being called as a mood, right? So when we happy to do our daily life, so we can get a good mood throughout the day, right? So the second point, each person have different happiness baseline. So as we can see, uh, every person have a different characteristic, right? So they have different types, different different ways to get their happiness. Like for me, I want to uh, make my parents happy, like getting a good result in my exam. So the third point, learn to raise it, achieve higher level of happiness. So like for me as a student, uh, not only I got a good result in exam, right? So I'm also must always make them happy, like help them when they need, right? Always uh, always listen to them and take care of them when they get old, right? The second point is laugh and have fun. Laughter being called as exercise of the body. So uh, when we uh, are feeling stressed, of course our mind is like packed with information, right? So when you laugh, you can feeling your stress is down, right? Yeah, it's very good. So the second one, having fun in job. Of course, when you do a job, you must not to feeling stress lah. You must having fun. Like uh, so for example, uh, when we want to choose our job, we must choose the job that can suit us. So for example, like uh, you can easily adapt to that job, right? So you can been really fun to do it. Mm. So the third goals to create a positive and fun living atmosphere. So when you laugh and have fun, we can get a positive and fun living atmosphere. The third point is commit random act of kindness. Kindness towards friends, family, and strangers. So, for example, when we meet other people, we can greet them like saying salam or maybe smile to them. So it can make them happy throughout the day. So research study that kindness toward others not only happy throughout the day, but subsequent day. So for example, like when we do a big event like a charity, right? So we can get a good mood for a long time, right? Better than you do a kindness of small thing. The fourth point is set goals. Overcome discouraged and helpless during time in life is to set goals. So for example, uh, as a student, I need to set goals every day in my life. So for example, uh, the first day I want to finish my assignment for class A, so that the next day I can do another assignment. So like we arrange our time, manage our time so that we can relax our mind, right? So set small and attainable goals. So for example, when we create the goals, do not make it too much hard for you to achieve the goal. For example, uh, when you for example, when you have set your goals that today we want to finish 2 assignments. So like when you do it, and then you got family matters, so you cannot finish 2 assignments in 1 day, and then you feeling down. So you cannot do that lah. You must uh, think positive. If you cannot achieve it today, you can achieve it tomorrow, right? So take large goal and break it into smaller chunks. So for example, my now I set goal to finish my video in this week. So the first part I done it last night. So now the second part I do it today. So I break my goals to not only 1 day only. You can do it many days, right?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad AMIRUL Hakim bin AZRI. So today I will present about coping with psychological disorders. Okay, the first one, popular therapy options. So there are many organizations offer various employee assistance programs (EAP) to the employees. So this means that the programs, technically the programs will try to help the employee and those employees who have the psychological disorders. So the programs is aimed to overcome anxiety, depression, burnout, alcohol abuse and drug abuse, or maybe the other psychological disorders, feeling like stress feeling or others. So the programs is appear to help the employees or those employees to overcome their psychological disorders that they have, so like anxiety, depression, other stress feeling that they have, the alcohol abuse and drug abuse. So this is really important in order for the company to keep the employee to be productive, because when the employee have the psychological disorders, they cannot concentrate to their work. So the programs is designed to address the negative effects, or in other words, you could say that these programs is appeared to getting know what is the negative effects from the psychological disorders among the employee, so that they can help the employees to get rid of their psychological disorders and to be a good employees for the company. So the second way to cope with psychological disorders is 12 steps program. So in 12 steps program, there are 2 points, which are work steps and attend meetings. Okay, for the work steps, admit the problem, recognize the life has become unmanageable, and turning life over to a high power. Okay, for the work steps, those employee who face the psychological disorders, they need to admit the problem that they had. So they can try to find the solution. Why they are going to be like this? Why they have these psychological problems? So they can asking help from their friend, or maybe they can discuss with whom they have the problem. So the employees should not keep this problem, because this will cause a depression to the employee who have the problems in the work life or in other ways. Okay, the second point of 12 steps program is attend meetings. So meetings are held in convenient location throughout communities across the country. So the meetings can be held in the grand hall, auditorium, or other place that will be comfortable for them to assemble across and among the communities. Members describe their own problems, listen to the others who have experienced similar problems. So this through attend meetings, so this is really important, because the members can share their opinion, can share their problem, and also can discuss what they have faced about the psychological disorders that they have. So through these attend meetings, the members can have a little bit knowledge on how to resolve and prevent the psychological problem that they have. Okay, the last way to cope with psychological disorders is the web-based counseling. Alright, the web-based counseling is some licensed therapists give their clients a choice to face-to-face counseling or online counseling. So the therapists give the 2 options to the clients or to the patients, either a face-to-face, which means the physical meeting, or online counseling, which means online meeting through Google Meet or maybe Skype or others applications through online meeting. There are thousands of support groups organized around various psychological disorders and moderated by therapists. Some are licensed, some are not. So this is really important for those who want to get the psychological disorders treatment through the web counseling, because there are many outside there. There are many therapists outside there that don't have a license to give a treatment. So they need, for those who wants to get the psychological disorders treatment through web counseling, they need to make research, and they need to find the real, the authorized and the licensed therapists in order to get the real and right psychological disorders treatment. Okay, that's all from me about coping with psychological disorders. Thank you.